Your Holiness, I'd like to ask for the people that are gathered here tonight, what do you think of what's happening around the world and in Vancouver in particular?
Let me explain this to all of the people here and the people around the world. Maybe we can get a greater view of what is starting to take place. As the people in Brazil today were telling us that they hadn't seen snow and it was snowing in Brazil. And they were telling the story of how they noticed that what I have put out over the years, without self-aggrandizement, how the Creator has warned humanity and that the planet is in the throes of the stages of its polar shift. So as the poles are shifting, as the earth is shifting, and humanity continues to drag out of the planet, on the various sides of the planet, gold, copper, platinum, or coal, and the various other substances that are being misplaced and pushed from one side to the other. The inner levels of your planet are going to be lighter on one side and heavier on other sides. So you are hastening up the polar shift motion of your planet. But what you are asking about the conditions of Vancouver and other places where people are taking to the streets and where people are upset about the conditions they are living in, then we have to take note that with the riots, the unrest and the upheaval in Vancouver as a good example, because it is so close to all of you who are here at the moment. When people have put all their energies in a soccer team, in a hockey team, in a tennis team, in even figure skating, swimming, because people have hopes that some people will win, that some people will be successful. And when you are realizing that there are many, many people in a country that is supposedly called so affluent as Canada, and even in the United States, you will see soon uprisings and upheaval, unhappiness. And when people have put all their energies in to wanting to rise and to have a good life, to be successful, or even to have a balanced life, and they see that it is nearly not attainable at all, unless they want to be corrupt, violent, because a normal working human being in a society as such as today, we have to see this, that the rents in this city and around this city, even further than hope some would have to move so far from the city of Vancouver, yet they work in the city of Vancouver, and the wages are not in balance with their rents and the cost of food. And then we have those that feel that they are void, yet they are spiritual, but they feel that they are void. They feel that they are lost. When they come here, and when all of you come to speak here and to ask for my help. I see the despair, the great concerns, and I see those that are wealthy and getting wealthier. The costs of things that are out there are so very, very high. As one of you were telling me this afternoon, the cost of repairing your 7-year-old car, and that it was so hard to find the money for the bills to pay, and yet the cost was high, but not as high as to replace the car, which was out of reach. And for some of you who are coming here and are opening your lovely hearts to what is taking place in your families, with your children, and that you hardly can keep up with all the things other children are involved in, and that they feel and that you feel your children should be able to be involved in too. And all the expensive clothing and sportswear and all this it's unreal. And the food prices and the cost of just your day-to-day lives versus the others that are out there. The others that seem to be able to afford everything that's, so, someone asked who came in here, and this lovely girl, she was saying that her dad had to go and find a lawyer for her because the poor girl, 26, was involved in a car accident, and she became the victim of a car accident. And she cried and told me that she couldn't believe that she had to receive so much mistreatment. She felt abused. And of course, Freddie, that's also what you and your brother came to speak about, because you were in a car accident 3 years ago. And you had to go to your father because of your injuries, and he had to remortgage his house to help you through these times, which shouldn't be necessary, should never have been necessary if you pay your automobile insurance and you drive as a responsible person. But the stories are coming in here of people being in dire situations, and also the dire situations spiritually that are taking place, the feeling of loss. And then here, one of our lovely Lama friends was saying that how could someone have joy when someone was seeing so much suffering, and to ask me, could I give an answer to create joy? And I'm quite blunt about it. I am a survivor of some very, very difficult global times. And I cannot say what was said to him elsewhere. Don't think about it, be happy. But you can't say I am happy when people are hungry and more people are breaking down from stress and suffering, while they see others who seem to have everything. So the separation, the difference here between rich and poor seems to not be a stream apart, but an ocean apart. So when a soccer game, a hockey game, a tennis game, a cyclist thing, or figure skating, or a swimming tournament, when people have put all their hopes on these athletes to win, and then they lose, they feel like a double loss, a double state of grief and losing, because that meant they lost and the people themselves also were losers. And then comes the rage, the pain, the anger, because here are all these things around them. Some people with their very, very beautiful cars, stores that portray affluence, and here these that were playing a game that they really couldn't afford to go to themselves, but followed on the screens, on television and everything else. Then when they lost, it had the feeling that they all were losing, and then the rage came out to those who have, from those who have hardship. I hope, I really truly hope, that you can come to a state of peace and harmony. And if those that are out there, they are twisted and deranged in their twistedness, trying to twist and manipulate you, any of you, to make them feel they should have more power over you, or to break you down into a greater state of depression, that you then should just go away, as you were telling me, Fred, as what had happened with you and your automobile accident, and all the suffering with your leg, and that with the injuries of your brother, and you felt that they were breaking you down. Then I say to all of you, be strong. Be strong. Don't be discouraged, because change must come by all people coming together. The good will overcome those who are twisted and manipulative to create a depression for you who are having difficulties. And I can say, as some people say, be mindful, but I am not going to. I am going to say to you, open your hearts, open your strength, and spread it around. Help and love one another. Compassion, is this what is needed during these times of your oncoming slippage and polar shift, where you all need to be like one, rich and poor, sick and healthy, that you all need to be like one to come through these times. May I send you wonderful blessings, all of you, even you who are here, but the ones who are far away. Remember me. Love costs nothing, but a good reaching out from the heart. Goodbye.